Welcome back. Today we're turning our focus to Namibia's growing leadership in the global green energy space. Now, the Namibia Green Hydrogen Programme has extended its call for projects under the STIP initiative, an effort that's aimed at accelerating low-carbon technologies, industrial decarbonisation and attracting significant climate investment into the country. To help us unpack what this extension means, which industries stand to benefit, and how private and public partnerships, or developers rather, can get involved before the new 1st of February 2026 deadline. To unpack, we're now joined by Jona Musheko, who is the Manager of External Affairs and Communications for the Namibia Green Hydrogen Programme. Jona, good evening and welcome.
Good evening to you and the viewers.
Thank you so much for being here.
All right, thank you for having me.
Just to start with, quickly remind us, what is the STIP? Firstly, and why does it matter for Namibia's industrial future?
Well, thank you so much, first of all, for having us here. The STIP is a short version of what we call the Sectoral Transformation Investment Plan. This is obviously emanating from the application Namibia has submitted last year. And then this year we came out as one of the countries in the world under the Climate Investment Fund, that's globally, where we qualify to have access to concessional funding of close to $250 million for various industrialization that could be linked to decarbonization as a global effort towards a climate change. So now with the Sectoral Transformation Investment Plan, we are kind of putting together different ideas of how can we best decarbonize or come up with initiatives and ideas, innovative ideas that speaks to decarbonization, whether to decarbonize existing industries or to decarbonize or to come up with new initiatives that also speak to industrialization, but also in the same sense of decarbonization. For us to submit this investment plan to SIF, for us to be able to get that money, we should be able to have concrete and very strong submission with different ideas of Namibians, whether Namibians purely or in partnership or JV with other stakeholders or partners from other parts of the world. These are ideas that could be linked to either cement production. How do you decarbonize cement production? And when we talk about decarbonizing, we're really just looking at how best can we reduce carbon emission in different industries. Right. That's really the plain language we can use. How do we reduce carbon emission in any industry? If you're looking at automotive, how do we do that from steel manufacturing to the actual car that is running? What is it using? Is it using oil? Is it using electricity? Or is it using hydrogen? And that is really the main bigger picture what you're looking at. So for us to be able to submit a strong proposal to SIF, we must be able to get ideas from Namibians. So this proposal, this request for project proposal that we've run for 3 months, now was ending this past weekend, this past Sunday. We have extended it to February 1st in 2026 for us to give enough sufficient time for more Namibians to come on board and submit. And that means more work for us to be able to assess and evaluate those submissions and eventually move on to the next step.
From the framework that you just explained, what then exactly makes an eligible project, and what does a strong application look like for this call?
Really, there are different factors that we will have to look at in as much as the qualification is concerned. But first of all, we must make it clear that what we are asking now at this stage is merely ideas, pure ideas that you can think of to decarbonize a particular value chain of production in any industry. We are not asking you to submit a full proposal that has got all the components of a proper proposal. We are asking you to give us your thoughts, your ideas. And when you send us an email requesting for a specific form or more details, we give you a form that you must fill in. And in that form is where we are trying to inquest from you, like, what is that you have in mind? It's a 2-page form. From that, then we will have a workshop that is guided by or spearheaded by the government through the Ministry of Finance on guiding these applicants and potential developers that we have seen what you have submitted. and this is how best then you can draft your bigger main proposal. So what we're asking now is literally just to tap the minds of those that have interest in this specific industry.
Okay.
And we are looking at things eventually when we are now look at those actual proposals. We will look at issues of scalability.
Yes.
How scalable is your idea? So it must be able to move from phase 1 to phase 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on. We are also looking at the commercial potential of that idea. You must be able to make money out of it, because eventually what we are getting, the 250 million US dollars we are getting, which will be scaled up eventually, it will be what we call concessional funding, which is, in other terms, cheap money. When we talk about cheap money, it's usually attributed to the level of interest rate that you apply on that money when you borrow to somebody. Currently, in our country, when you borrow finance from banks, your interest rate hovers around from 8 upward. Ours, we call it cheap money because it is intentional for the world to decarbonize, and that is the initiative of the Climate Investment Fund. And we have to adopt the same. When we lend out this money, it will not be in the same range as the commercial banks. It will be way, way cheaper, and that will be definitely be determined by government and all our other partners that are involved. We are thinking of looking at the range of 4 to 5, 4 to 5% interest rate. So you must be able to have a commercial idea and that has got that potential. And obviously the issues of social inclusion and gender equality, we want to encourage more social involvement, and also the issue of women participation in projects of this nature. As we have seen, it is likely that most of these projects are likely to be driven by men, and we want this project to be also have element of high representation of women. So we are also encouraging you to participate through one way or another. And obviously technical soundness. We want something that you can test that, yes, it will make it, and it also qualifies to be referred to as decarbonizing effort.
Fantastic. Well, of course, now you've mentioned that you've extended the application call up until the 1st of February 2026. There have been ideas trickling in. So are you saying that, they're not sufficient, or the ideas aren't broad enough? What's lacking? What force you to extend?
I think there are many factors that we have looked at. One of them is obviously that we have received numerous ideas and thoughts and innovative ideas from Namibians and other players, but we still feel like there is more we can get. And we are picking it up now, after the deadline has been extended. The ideas keep coming in, and I think we didn't want really to have few people that have submitted, because we also believe that perhaps we have also not really engaged much on the awareness. That's why we are starting now also to pick up on our awareness, to make sure that people understand and we get more inflow of ideas through these requests for project proposals. And then the other thing is also to make sure that between the involved parties that are driving this, which is the Ministry of Finance or the government of Namibia, and the Climate Investment Fund and all other partners that are involved, we are also prepared in terms of coordination and the committees that are necessary to be in place, so that come 1st of Feb, we are really ready to take off. And there are deadlines that we need to meet as a country. But remember, when we applied for this, only 7 countries have qualified to get this in the world, and Namibia was among those. And so far, we've got countries like Brazil that are already ahead with their investment plan. So we need to catch up as well and make sure that we comply to those deadlines.
Well, $250 million is quite a big chunk of money, and it's a lot on the table. What should applicants realistically expect in terms of funding or competition?
Really, I think at this stage, like I said before, we should first, understand the stage where we are, which is to tap your thoughts and, just want to get those ideas.
Ideation phase.
Yes, and then we include them in the investment plan that we are going to submit, the pipeline that we are putting together. That investment plan is what will also inform, because the $250 million is the maximum we can access. But that will depend on the project ideas we have submitted. If we have submitted ideas that are just worth $50 million, we will not be able to get 250. We must submit more ideas that qualify for more money, and we should be able also to say what we're asking for. Eventually, we should be able to implement it. So we don't want to get the money, and eventually we don't implement. And that will also come with the people that are applying, the developers. whatever ideas we are bringing to us, make sure that it's really technically sound and it's viable. It is the only thing that should be able to be blocking it, it's that capital. And once because after this process of sourcing for these ideas, we will have the first thing, which is the workshop. That workshop will bring all the applicants, all those that have submitted their ideas. We refer to them at this stage as developers, potential developers, so that we can guide them on how to put together now a full proposal. Because this is not the proposal yet. This is just a 2-page form that we are sending you. And after that workshop, we will then give you more details on how you can then put together your proposal. We support you as a program and as a government, so that when we eventually submit everything all together and the money come, you are ready. Because after that, and all the due diligence are followed through the trust fund at Climate Investment Fund, the money will come straight. The money will come straight. There will be no dilly-dallying. And we would want those that will have the potential and those that will be selected to really be ready to participate and have the projects running. And I should be very proud to say this sector is one of those that is really, once we get to put our mind to something and we get things moving, we will get it done. We have seen how so far we've got 2 projects in Namibia that are producing green hydrogen and adding value to that. So we want to move. We don't have much time. We want to make sure that through this administration, we have done so much.
Well, I'm sure people are like, okay, where can we access the application? So tell us about that. How can interested parties get an application form, this 2-pager, fill it out, etc.?
So we have circulated this poster where we have got all this information, because there are different industries that you can participate. You don't have to be an engineer necessarily for you to participate. There are different ways you can participate. We have run this poster that is having this information on all our social media, that is Namibia Green Hydrogen Programme, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, as well as our website. So you go there, access that poster, you read, and if you have questions, there are numbers of myself and my colleagues. Call and we can give you information before you can request for that form. And once you send an email to those 3 emails that are on that poster, we will reply to you with that form. You complete it, you send it back to us, and then after that we keep you informed on the next step, which is after the due date, which will be the workshop. And then we're expecting to see your face and also engage and see how best we can eventually have you into that investment plan.
Fantastic. Well, Jona, that's all the time we have, but perhaps final remarks from your end?
I think my final remarks is just to encourage young and obviously old, innovative Namibians to see this opportunity. There is really nothing difficult that we can't do. If you have an idea, don't think it's small. Bring it to us. Let us see, and that is really what we are looking for. It's a 2-page. You fill in that page. It has got a part where you give us a summary of your idea. Eventually, we'll help you to see how best your idea can be realized, if it has got that potential and what we are looking for to decarbonize different industries. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing the end results of these projects. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there you have it. That was Jona Musheko speaking to us there. Of course, you can go onto the social media pages where all the information related to the project is available. If you'd like to get an application form or have any questions, you can reach out to them directly. We'll be back after this brief break.